Have you ever looked back at a moment where you got angry and asked yourself, why did I let that person get to me? Why did I give them that power over me? Why did someone who wants to be calm, centered, and strong lose it over something so small? We've all been there. Someone cuts you off. Someone disrespects you or says something stupid, and your heart rate goes up. Your emotions rise like fire in your chest, and before you even have time to think, you're already reacting. And that's the problem. Because in that moment, it's not logic nor reason that is speaking. It's not your higher self. It's the most primitive part of your brain, the part that hasn't evolved since we lived in caves. And what's worse is that afterwards, you're left feeling drained, embarrassed, and if you're honest, ashamed. Because you know deep down that the strongest man in the room is never the loudest one. He's the one who doesn't flinch, the one who keeps his calm. He is the one who chooses response over reaction. So if you want to become that man, if you want to reach a place where no insult, no challenge, no chaos can shake your inner peace, then promise yourself you'll stick to the end and listen closely, because we're not just talking about controlling anger, we're talking about becoming absolutely immune to it, not suppressing your emotions but transforming them, not walking away because you're afraid of conflict but because you're way beyond it. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Anger is not strength, it's a leak in your power. Most people misunderstand anger. They think it means you're powerful. They think it means you're strong and commanding, but the truth is, anger is not strength. It's a leak in your power. One can even go a step further and say it's a revelation of weakness. When you get angry, you lose clarity. You lose control and make decisions you end up regretting. And worst of all, you show the other person exactly where your buttons are. The Stoics understood this. They taught that anger is weakness disguised as force. It looks loud and tough, but it's actually fragile, because it only takes one comment, one insult, one challenge, and you explode. That's not control, that's surrender. If you want to become untouchable, you have to stop treating anger like fire and start treating it like poison. It's not empowering you, it's exposing you. It's showing the world that someone else can take your peace with just a few words, that your emotions are on a leash and they know how to pull it, that you are not leading your mind is being led. The man who truly holds power is the one who doesn't flinch, the one who doesn't need to shout, prove, or react. The man who stands in chaos and stays calm, not because he's numb, but because he's mastered himself. And that is the mark of real strength. Point number 2, learn to spot the trap before you step in. Here's a powerful truth most people never realize until it's too late. Some people want you to get angry. They feed off it. They thrive on your emotional reaction. It makes them feel powerful, significant, and in control. These people aren't always loud. Sometimes they wear a smile while throwing subtle jabs. Sometimes they pretend they're joking when deep down they're testing you, trying to see how much control they have over your mood. And the moment you take the bait, when you snap back, defend yourself, or let your emotions boil over, they win. They've pulled you down to their level. They've made you part of their chaos. That's why one of the strongest habits you can build is the pause and observe. When something triggers you, don't immediately react. Breathe. Slow down. Ask yourself, what's really happening here? Is this person trying to control me through my emotions? Because the second you recognize the game, you become immune to it. You see the trap, and you are able to avoid it. Let them try. Let them bait you. Let them throw their tantrums. You don't have to respond. You don't have to play their game. Your silence is your power, and the more you hold it, the louder your strength becomes. Chapter 3. Let go of the need to be understood. One of the biggest reasons we get angry, hurt, or bothered is simple. We're too attached. Attached to being understood. Attached to looking like we're right. Attached to being respected, acknowledged, praised. And when that doesn't happen, when someone mocks us, misjudges us, or overlooks us, it feels like an attack. Like something's been stolen from us. But here's the truth most people never accept. The tighter you cling to how people perceive you, the more they control you, the more power you give away, and the more your peace slips through your fingers. So what's the answer? Detachment. Tell yourself, I don't need everyone to understand me. I don't need to explain myself to people committed to misunderstanding me. I don't need to win every argument because my peace is not up for debate. When you learn to release the need for validation, something shifts. The noise around you quiets down. You stop chasing approval and start protecting your energy. You walk away, not because you're weak, but because you're strong enough to not need the last word. True peace comes from letting go. Let go of needing to be right. Let go of needing to be liked. And watch how powerful, how light, how calm you become. Point number 4. Silence is a power. Not many understand. There's something deeply unsettling about someone who doesn't react. You insult them, and they just look at you. You try to provoke them, and they stay still. You lash out, and all you get in return is silence. No emotion, no defense, just calm. That's silence. That's not weakness. That's not passivity. That's power in its purest form. Because silence isn't doing nothing. It's doing the highest thing. It's refusing to participate in foolishness. It's walking away from chaos without ever breaking your inner stillness. It's looking someone in the eyes and saying, without words, I won't lower myself to meet you here. And the truth is, most people don't understand that. They think if you don't react, you're scared or soft, but what they don't realize is that your silence isn't avoidance, it's mastery. You've already won because you've chosen peace over pettiness, and that rattles them more than any angry outburst ever could. The less you react, the more powerful you become. You stop dancing to the rhythm of other people's dysfunction. You stop allowing their storms to invade your calm. Eventually, they realize they can't pull you in. They can't shake your peace. And that's when you become truly untouchable, because real power doesn't shout. It whispers in silence. Chapter 5. Build a personal code and make it the standard of your life. Let me tell you a quick story. There was a man who ran a small shop in the middle of a chaotic street market. Every day, children screamed as they ran past, vendors argued over prices, customers complained, and the noise never stopped. But this man, he never raised his voice, never frowned, never reacted. He moved calmly, like the chaos around him didn't exist. One afternoon, a traveler stopped by and asked, "How do you stay so calm in all this noise?" The man smiled and said, "Because I decided long ago no one else gets to decide my mood but me." That's the power of a personal code, not a rule someone gives you, a principle you live by, a quiet law written deep in your soul, a standard that doesn't change based on mood or noise or provocation. You can have one too. Say it to yourself. I don't argue with fools. I don't respond to ignorance. I don't trade my peace for my pride. Repeat it until it becomes your default. Because once your code is stronger than your emotions, the outside world loses its power over you. You no longer need the world to be peaceful because your mind already is. And that's what real self-mastery looks like. The final chapter. Master your mind or be ruled by everything else. Your mind is a battlefield. Not because the world is against you, but because your own thoughts often are. One minute they whisper fear. The next, they replay every insult you've ever heard. They tell you to speak before thinking, to strike before breathing, to let emotion lead the way. But here's the truth: you are not your thoughts. You are the one observing them, the quiet awareness beneath the noise. And the moment you understand that truly and deeply, you reclaim your power. You don't have to believe every thought. You don't have to obey every emotion. You don't have to chase every storm. You can stay still and watch it pass by. That is the essence of discipline, not coldness nor numbness, but sovereignty. The ability to respond with clarity instead of reacting with chaos. And when you practice this daily, when you train your mind to be still in the middle of the noise, something begins to shift. The storms still come, but you are the sky above them. The noise still roars, but you carry silence like a shield. This is what it means to walk through fire calmly, to be tested and remain composed, to be insulted and still carry grace, to face the world and not lose yourself in it. Let others react. Let them scream, complain, unravel. You breathe, you think, you choose peace. Because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs men like you. Men who lead with calm. Men who are immune to the chaos. Men who have mastered the storm within. So ask yourself, what would the strongest version of me do right now? And then become him. Because once you master your mind, you become unshakable. And the world will notice. And if you made it to the end, I want you to know this. Most people never take the time to master themselves, but you did. And that already separates you from the crowd. So thank you for being here. If this message hit something in you, if it calmed something or challenged something, don't just walk away. Subscribe to Stoic Clarity, not for me, but for the future you. The version of you who doesn't flinch, who doesn't fold, who walks through fire calmly. Because every week we go deeper into becoming that man. And if you're on that path, welcome home. I'll see you in the next one.